This video includes real names, events, and images from historical true crime cases. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm so sorry. I cannot go there. I'm so sorry.
This is Joshua desperately apologizing to his friend Hannah after he accidentally shot their common friend. Initially, officers also believe this story.
Typically a nice kid.
Yeah, he's been very polite the whole time. Yeah, he's in shock. He's like, I have work in 2 hours. I have work in 2 hours. Keeps repeating it, so I'm in shock. He's been right Miranda.
But as they dig deeper, the case begins to unravel with dark secrets woven into this twisted love triangle and the quiet insecurities of one individual slowly coming into focus.
Hannah, you said she's very outgoing, very gregarious. Would you maybe describe her as flirty?
She's very flirty.
That's when it happened, and so I'm like, I don't really understand how you think a gun is just a flashlight.
I felt like a complete for just randomly picking up a gun that I did not know what to really do with,
Around 3:30 a.m. on December 31st, 2023, just one day before New Year's, the Lake Stevens Police Department receives a disturbing call. On the line is 23-year-old Hannah Lee Gage, her voice shaking as she watches her boyfriend Neil bleed out from a gunshot wound to the chest.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Oh my God, please hurry. 12703 16th Street Northeast, number 27, Lake Stevens, Washington.
Repeat the address one more time.
12703 16th Street Northeast, Lake Stevens, Washington, number 27.
Tell me exactly
Hurry,
what's happened.
Someone's been shot. Someone's been shot. Hurry, please hurry. Please hurry.
Tell me exactly what's happened.
Oh my God, I don't even know. I wasn't paying attention. My friend just grabbed my other friend's gun, and I think he was just trying to play around, but he shot him. Oh my God, please hurry.
Okay, ma'am, the person with the gun, where are they?
In my house. Oh my God.
Do you know this person?
Yes. I don't know his last name. Oh my God, my friend.
Okay, can you try to keep...
He was shot.
Ma'am, I want you to try to get yourself somewhere safe.
Oh
Tell me the man's name.
Oh my God, what did you say?
I need you to try to separate yourself and tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, please, sorry, I don't even know.
Ma'am, I've already got the officer's advice. You need to just try to take a breath from me. I know this is scary.
Oh.
You're doing a good job. You did the right thing. Try to separate yourself. The man with the gun, where is he?
He's in my kitchen. He's yelling for me to help. I feel like I need to help, but I don't know what to do.
Okay, what is his name?
What's your name? What's your name? Josh. Josh. Oh my God.
Officers rush to the scene already knowing it demands their immediate attention. The victim may be moments away from death while the killer stands nearby watching. And when they step into the house, the scene is just as horrific as they imagined it to be.
Where's the gun?
Please help. The gun is in my room.
Come on, Neil.
Please help.
I'm inside.
The officer,
Hey.
Here.
Neil? Neil?
Is the ambulance on their way?
They are.
I literally thought the gun was a flashlight because he was using it as a flashlight. We were looking for a cat, and I saw that I was using a flashlight.
1911 to 1922. Bring your red bag in. Aid can come in as soon as scared.
I literally thought it was a flashlight because he was...
Over here.
Yes, sir. I hope I can...
Just one? Right
yes, there? One shot.
Is he okay? Is he
Turn that off. No, it's not okay.
On the floor lies 27-year-old Neil Forestier, shot in the chest and unresponsive. As paramedics work to revive Neil, his friend, Joshua Kelly, is detained as he repeatedly insists the shooting was an accident.
I literally thought it was a flashlight, sir. Because he was using it as a flashlight.
It's a trigger, dude. It's a trigger. You have to...
Stay over there. Stay over there.
Yes, sir.
1911 CPR.
Oh my
in
god.
progress.
Is he still breathing? Is he still breathing?
No. I did not mean to.
I don't care. It was so stupid of you. Why would you ever grab a gun? It's not a toy.
I did not know.
Oh my god. It doesn't matter. It's his gun. He knows how to use it. You don't.
I didn't know he had a concealed weapon.
Oh my god.
I didn't know.
You should never touch someone. Like, you don't touch a weapon.
I didn't know it was like actual weapon.
God, is he still breathing?
Nope.
Oh my god. Oh.
I'm so sorry, Dana. I did not know, man. I'm so sorry. I swear to God, I did not know it was a concealed weapon. I did not know he concealed a loaded weapon or anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna read you your rights, though, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get you secured first, and I'll read you the rights. Okay, so don't say anything until I read you your rights.
Yes, sir. All those are my receipts from work.
Okay, buddy.
And my receipts, like clock in, clock out stuff. And I have work in a few hours. I work at 8 in the morning.
I know, buddy.
While it could be considered strange that Joshua is focused on getting to work as his friend lies unresponsive inside the house, officers still have no solid evidence to suggest a hidden motive.
So what is that kid's name?
The suspect? Yeah. Joshua Kelly.
Okay, and he's well known, right? Because he knew me.
Well, we've dealt with him before. He doesn't have much of a record. He has assault 4 DD.
Right. Typically a nice kid.
Yeah, he's been very polite the whole time.
Yeah.
He's in shock. He's like, I have work in 2 hours. I have work in 2 hours. Keeps repeating it. So I'm in shock. He's been right Miranda.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as they speak with Hannah, the only other witness in the house, it starts to become evident that this was not just an accident between friends.
Neil took his gun out of his waistbands so him and Josh could box. They each
I don't know if that's what you call it. They didn't
Yeah,
even really do that. They just punched each other in the stomach once. Josh started it, like he was like playing, doing it, acting around. And then Neil was like, oh, we can do that if you want. Like, we could just start with 10% and then go up. And then Josh.
Let me just read through this.
What Hannah and none of the officers know yet is the depth of the dark jealousy Joshua harbors, a motive that will slowly come to the surface as the investigation unfolds.
That's what you saw in the call. I mean, it's.
Yeah,
it
I didn't even
sounds
see
pretty
it happen. I
straightforward,
never saw him pick up the gun or anything because I had just turned away.
So you didn't physically see him like punch out.
Well, I saw them punch each other.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm talking in like cop language, like punch out. I mean, like we sometimes say that when like, with our gun we punch out like.
Yeah, no, I never saw him grab the gun or point the gun. I just heard it and I was like, I didn't really understand what it was. I just felt the ringing in my ear.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like something like ricocheted.
How close would you say?
I was so close. Like we were all so close. My kitchen is small. It's a small apartment. We were all in that small little kitchen. And I was already turned away, like starting to walk the other direction. And then Neil started pulling behind me. And then he just fell down. And then there was blood everywhere.
You heard the bang. You turn around. And what do you see?
So at first I was still going the other direction. And Neil was still behind me. He was behind me. And it wasn't for like a minute later until I was like back in the kitchen where I saw all the blood everywhere. And then Neil like fell to the ground.
Did Neil say anything?
No.
He wasn't talking. He didn't say nothing.
No, but he was still awake for a little bit. Like he collapsed and his eyes closed and everything, or rolled back. But I ran out of the apartment and called the cops immediately.
Okay.
And then I went back in for a second. I checked his pulse. The girl on the phone wanted me to grab the gun. I put the gun in my room.
Okay.
And then I was like making sure that Josh was putting pressure because I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
and he was putting pressure the whole time. And when I checked his pulse, just 2 minutes before you guys got here, he was still breathing, or still had a pulse. And
So
I
you've
feel
been
like
sitting-
since we were drinking, I feel like I can't even fully process what all just happened,
Yeah.
which makes me feel even more bad because
You couldn't have done nothing, right? Don't put that guilt on you. There's nothing that you could have done.
I just don't
differently.
understand if he was mad that once they did his boxing, even though he wanted to start it. I know that Neil has a harder hit, but I saw it and it looked pretty even. Neil went light on him, but I'm wondering if that made him mad. But it didn't seem like that because everything was fine afterwards. Then it was so random. It would all happen in a 5-minute time span.
Okay.
I don't really understand how he could think a gun is just a flashlight.
Well, I didn't see the gun. Is there a flashlight on the gun?
I'm pretty sure there is a flashlight on the gun,
Okay.
but you'd have to pull the trigger to a gun to make it go off.
Right. I mean, yeah. Okay. So there's about the entire time from when they started boxing to the gunshot going off is 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe
When
less
they-
than.
when
It was
they
very
got-
quick.
Hannah is right about this part, which makes officers question whether Joshua's act was deliberate after all. And just after he's brought to the station, investigators receive the devastating news that Neil has died. With the case now turning into a death investigation, detectives begin speaking with Joshua to understand his side of the story.
I would come to the bar, I'd see him play pool with other people, and then I would throw down some quarters for my next turn, and I'd be going up against them, kind of made it a competition against each other every week, and we would see each other there.
Yeah.
Play some pool.
Okay. Are you guys on social media together?
No.
What does he do for a living?
I do not know, actually. He was holding it like a gun, and I saw the flashlight part. It was pretty bright, so I couldn't tell that there was a holster on there because it was so bright. It was like a bright LED light, and the parts of the light was kind of shining in my face a little bit, so it made it look like a flashlight type of gun. He was just looking behind the couch, kind of moved the couch, kind of was holding it like a gun and just shining the light down, trying to look for the cat. Couldn't find him.
I know you said you guys were this was your second time actually holding an actual firearm.
Yeah. And when I took off the holster, thinking that the light was on the barrel.
Sure.
And so I aimed it to try to see if I would just flash him with the flashlight, and that's when the gun went off and got him.
How did the gun just slide out of the holster, or does it have?
It kind of clicked out. It's one of those things where it goes click and it's secure.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just clicked it back out.
Okay. So you had to use force. There was not no extra buttons or anything you had to push to get it out.
Yeah, just pull it.
Okay. And then afterwards, did you put it back in the holster, or did you just set it down?
I just set both of the holster and the gun down right next to each other.
Okay.
Facing him, I like I am with you, and deeply apologizing, and that I would never touch it again.
Yeah.
Without his permission.
Yeah.
And under his supervision.
Right. Yeah. We've already gone over the firearm safety rules. So, were you thinking about that?
At the moment, no.
Despite detectives pressing Joshua and calling out his claim of mistaking a firearm for a flashlight, Joshua continues to defend himself while also expressing remorse for what he has done. He is eventually placed in the Snohomish County Jail, but the investigation into Joshua's true intentions does not end there. Detectives begin backtracking the events of that night and speak with the bartender who knows all three of them well. But to her, Joshua is one of the most harmless souls she's ever known.
I'd say they all come in probably 3/4 of the days that I work, which are just Friday and Saturday nights.
Okay, so you normally see they're what you would call maybe irregulars?
Yeah.
Okay, and do they usually come in together, or do they usually hang out together?
Josh never hangs out really with anybody.
This past weekend is the first time I think I've ever seen him hanging out with anyone.
Have you ever seen him hanging out with Hannah before in particular?
No.
Okay.
He is very quiet. He only ever has one cider. I think one time I've seen him drink 2 ciders, but that's it. And he sits at the bar, and he's very quiet, and he doesn't talk to anybody for the most part.
On the night of Neil's death, investigators noticed that Joshua didn't seem intoxicated, further indicating that his pulling the trigger was not under the influence of anything.
He did go hang out with Hannah. She is like very gregarious, or like
outgoing
that way. Yeah, she's very outgoing, and I think that she was trying to be very friendly to him.
Okay, and have you ever heard Josh express any kind of feelings about anybody in the bar or Hannah at all?
No, he is very, very quiet. He definitely he stares a lot, but it seems not like creepy, more like very observational.
Okay.
Almost like he wishes he knew how to talk to people, but doesn't.
All right, and have you ever seen him express any kind of aggravation about anybody?
Nope.
Okay, and he's never seen.
Absolutely blown away when I heard about all this.
All right, so just completely unexpected.
Completely.
Okay.
Probably the last person I would have ever expected to have heard this about.
Okay, gotcha. So I know you said that you were really surprised by this, but had you ever had a conversation with Josh, or does anything stand out in your mind about him?
No, he seemed a little bit like he might have had Asperger's or something.
Okay.
Usually when he came in, for the short time I've worked there, I have always tried to go up and at least talk to him a little bit because he seemed lonely or something. But he doesn't. He seems awkward but kind and very quiet, and that's it.
Okay, so nothing about him was raising any red flags in your experience. Okay. Hannah, you said she's very outgoing, very gregarious. Would you maybe describe her as flirty?
She's very flirty.
Okay.
And she honestly, the night that happened was, she and Neil had definitely been all over each other. And then at the very end of the night, I noticed her, because she had invited Josh to play pool, and she was started dancing with him, and I can see
dancing with Josh or dancing with Neil?
Dancing with Josh.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of, whatever, they're young, whatever floats their boat, I guess.
Yeah, but so you're saying, so Hannah, when you say all over Neil, were they making out kind of stuff?
They were making out, and she had been dancing with him, and then towards the very end of the night, she invited Josh to play pool with them, and I happened to be looking over because we were getting ready to pull everybody's drinks, and I noticed she was dancing all over Josh, and I was very surprised to see that.
Okay, so pretty when you say dancing all over Josh, she was pretty much body to body kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
But nobody seemed upset. Neil didn't look mad. Nobody. They all left together. Everybody was smiling.
Okay. Did you see Hannah making out with Josh at all, or just dancing?
I didn't see that.
Okay.
To further understand the relationship between the trio, detectives interview Hannah once again, and this time she has more to share.
What's your relationship with Neil?
We kind of have a thing. We're not actually dating or anything, but we'll kiss and dance together, and we hang out on the weekends because I have a son, so I don't really hang out with anyone during the week or anything. If he works, we both work, and so we'll hang out during the weekends and go get drinks, and then most of the time go back to my house and he'll stay the night, and then so sort of a casual dating relationship. Is that fair to say? Or? Yeah, it's not really dating, nothing official, but romantic. Okay. And what about Josh? He is someone I met through another friend that goes there named Kyle. and he's a sweet kid. And Josh is like sweet too. He's only hung out with him a couple of times, never really outside of the bar. Well, I guess we did just go to Luis's house together, like the night before, with a bunch of people. And so I guess besides that night, that's like the only time I've really hung out with that guy outside of the bar.
Okay. About how many times do you think you hung out with Josh at the bar?
He's been there recently when I go down there, so maybe like 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
Hannah had told officers on the night of the incident that Neil and Joshua had been playfully boxing and that Neil had gone easy on him. However, detectives suspect this may be the moment Joshua's anger took over and led to the shooting. But the truth runs a lot deeper than this.
After you called 911, did Josh say anything else?
I just asked him to put pressure, and I was just asking him, like, are you putting pressure? And he said, I'm putting as much pressure as I can. I asked him if he's breathing. He said yes. And then I was going like outside a lot to talk to the officers on the phone. And so I don't think too much more was said. Okay.
What?
Kind of got mad and went off a little bit. He was like, why would you touch someone else's gun? And like, how do you accidentally do that? Like, it's a trigger. And so I got mad and I went off a little bit. But
what did Josh say to that?
He just kept saying, I thought it was a flashlight. I thought it was a flashlight. And I was like, how do you think it was a flashlight? And he didn't really say anything.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same question.
Mm-hmm.
A flashlight and a gun are not built the same.
It's shaped like a gun, and it's like you can't accidentally pull a trigger.
Armed with enough information about the dynamics between the trio, detectives believe they may finally have what they need to draw a confession out of Joshua. 4 days later, they bring him in for questioning, hoping he will reveal the resentment he has buried toward Neil.
You remember me, Detective Parnell? This is Sergeant Hingen.
Hey, how are you doing?
So just so you know, we are being audio and video recorded. I brought my body camera on with me so that we can record this conversation. The reason I came down here was because like some more stuff has come up, and I just kind of wanted to follow up with you and get some more questions answered. You'd been up for a while, had a couple of drinks at Creekside, and then asked Hannah if you could go back to her apartment, right?
Yeah, just in case if I was to pass out, because I was up for so long.
Okay. Why did you decide to go to her place versus just giving a ride home?
At the time, I thought it was a little bit safer for me to hang there just in case if I was to crash there, and then walk to work that following morning.
Is there something that would have been unsafe about going home?
I mean, there would have, but at the time, I also wanted to head home. Not head home, but head to Hannah's, hang out with her for a little bit just in case if I was to fall asleep there or pass out.
Okay. And then you guys did the play fighting thing.
Yeah.
What led up to that? So, like, I know that you guys kind of, you said that you guys were talking about experience fighting, but how did this conversation come up?
It just came out of the blue, just something that slipped out, I mean, knowing that I've gotten into a couple of fist fights in the past, and I told them that I was pretty good at fighting. I was throwing good punches and stuff at the time of me doing those fights.
Got it. Okay.
So I just wanted to kind of test on fighting or punching.
Got it. So you just kind of wanted to test your punches on him and get his opinion?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he got his on me, and I'd say he did better than me.
Sure. Because it hurt, right?
It didn't hurt.
Or, no, you said it didn't hurt. It knocked the wind out of you.
It knocked me back, and I was kind of breathing a little hard.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he kind of put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just a little winded out."
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So.
You said, so the last time you talked to me, you told me that he asked you if you were okay, and you said you told him that you were fine, it had been a while since you'd been punched in the gut like that.
Yeah.
This line of questioning is meant to determine whether being punched in the gut made Joshua feel humiliated. And as the detective continues, she uncovers a detail that catches her attention.
Tell me about the last time you were punched in the gut like that.
This was back when I was in middle school. That was in recent memory, that was my last fight that I remember being in, and the guy I was fighting did sock me in the gut pretty good.
Yeah.
Around the same type of punch that Neil gave me.
Okay. How did you feel in middle school when you got punched like that?
At the time, I was not experienced, so I was in pain. Like, it hurt pretty bad to where I was on the ground coughing because it was hurting pretty bad, and I felt like I was about to throw up as well.
Okay.
But when Neil hit me, I was like kind of used to it for some reason, so.
Did you have those same kind of feelings, like you felt like you were going to throw up, that kind of stuff?
Not after Neil.
Did you, I mean, it sounds like you kind of flashed back to that. And sometimes when something happens that reminds us of a previous experience, it's kind of like you're back in that previous experience. Did you feel like that night?
Not necessarily. I did feel like I was about to go on my knees like I did in the past, but I was holding on to the counters, kind of keep my balance.
Got it. And then the gun was, I'm guessing, on the counter in front of you then? So
yeah.
This places Joshua within reach of the firearm, and the detective presses on to determine whether that moment led him to deliberately shoot Neil.
What was going through your head then, right at that moment when you're sort of bent over on the counter and like kind of trying to catch your breath again?
Like, how do you mean?
So, like, I mean, that happens. You're in the kitchen, kind of. You weren't expecting it to be as hard as it was, and so it catches you off guard a little bit. So you're holding onto the kitchen counter, steadying yourself so you don't fall, trying to catch your breath. Like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? Tell me what that was.
I was kind of surprised. I was thinking like, wow, this guy knows how to punch, Yeah. And I was impressed by how hard he punched.
Mm-hmm.
And so after going through that thought process, I kind of paced through the kitchen a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then after pacing for a little bit, I saw the gun, and the rest is played out.
I mean, you also said last time that you were a little upset that he hit you that hard, right?
Well, I wasn't upset. I was, like I said, I was surprised that he punched me that hard. So after pacing for a bit, I looked down at the counter and then saw the gun. I was also curious on how the flashlight part of the gun worked. And at the time, I didn't know that the flashlight was on the little holster part. And so I took it off and thought that the muzzle part was the flashlight. Was the flashlight.
Your goal was to pull the trigger and fire around. Okay. But what else was going through your head? Because, so, the difficult thing for me, part of why I can't buy that story as the whole story, that may be a part of the story, but it's not the whole story, because the scenario doesn't make sense, right? You've just been punched in the stomach. Like, you haven't been punched since you were a kid, right? And when it's knocked out of you, it's shocking. And then you pick up a gun and start wondering if it's a BB gun, so you pull the trigger. Like, I can't buy that. That doesn't make sense. Okay, that may have been something in the back of your head. I wonder if this is a real gun or a BB gun. But there were other things going through your head too at the time, because you had just gotten punched again by this guy who's sleeping with a girl that you want to be sleeping with. if we're being honest, right?
By now, the detective has already pieced together what drove Joshua to shoot Neil, but his reactions and answers still fail to reflect the truth as he continues to defend himself with more lies. Without a confession, these remain theories that may not hold up in court as proof of deliberate homicide, and so the detective presses harder to get him to confess.
So Neil gets hit, goes to the ground, and you grab a towel and you're trying to stop the bleeding and stuff. What are you thinking and feeling about your...
I felt like a complete for just randomly picking up a gun that I did not know what to really do with. Like, I just felt stupid, and I just felt like a complete moron, and I felt like a bad friend. And like I wanted to cry. And
yet the detective has seen no tears, and what Joshua doesn't know is that detectives have recovered his backpack, and what they find inside is troubling.
Talk to me about your backpack that you were carrying around with you. What do you keep in your bag?
So I keep like tools like flathead screwdrivers and stuff. Like, what my favorite hobby to do is like taking apart old thrown away electronics and collecting scrap metal, and then one day wanting to make money off of scrap metal, so I keep tools in there.
Okay.
And in some parts of my backpack, like the outside pockets on the sides, if I see garbage or anything when I'm walking around, then I would just, pick it up and put it in the side of my bag. And if there's like bigger stuff that is on the ground that is nowhere near a trash can, I would pick it up and put it in this one little pocket inside my backpack. And it's still in my bag. I just forgot to put everything in the trash.
Talk to me about the other stuff that was in there.
Like what?
So we have your bag.
I would have thought so.
So tell me about the other stuff that's in there that you don't want to talk about. We're at a point where I feel like we should be able to be honest, right? So, and I think I've already demonstrated that it's hard to lie to me. I've been lied to a lot, so I'm really good at knowing when people are lying or when people are withholding. And you are not going to tell me anything in this room that I have not heard before. So you're not going to make me uncomfortable. You are not going to make me think badly about you. You're not going to, you're not going to embarrass me. It may be weird for you because it's the first time you've had a conversation like this. But for me, I do this all the time. So I just want to talk about what's in there and why it was in there. What about anything sexual that was in your bag?
It is some of the items discovered in Joshua's backpack that the detectives will now use to push him toward a confession.
So,
trying to remember what was on there.
Sex toys.
I don't remember a sex toy in there, obviously. But honestly, if I did remember seeing a sex toy in there, it would either be, I don't know if I had a dildo in there or anything else like that. I don't know what of a sex toy I had in there.
What do you use your sex toys for? I mean, for sex, obviously, but what are the circumstances?
Just if we were wanting to get a little, frisky or kinky or whatever.
Okay, so maybe you're a little hopeful that you get to play with those with Hannah?
No, I never wanted to have sex with Hannah. I never had the thought process of having sex with her. Like, I've thought about it, but I didn't actually want to do that because I've seen her flirting with other guys, and I'm like, having sex with her would be nice, but she is flirting with other dudes, so it probably wouldn't be worth it. I mean, she's pretty. I'll admit she's pretty and cute, but I mean, yes, it would be nice having sex with her, but I never thought twice about wanting to actually, go back to her place and having sexual acts. Like, I mean, I thought about it, yes, but I wasn't gonna ask her.
Oh, no, that's a weird question to say you want to go
Like-
back and have sex, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But I didn't, like, yes, I did, like, I did thought about wanting to have sex with her, yes.
sure. Right, and kind of like we talked about before, like, hey, if you gotten back there and one thing led to another, you weren't going to tell her no, right? Yeah, that's okay.
Joshua has not realized any of this yet, but his statement about seeing the firearm on the counter and wanting to check it out, along with his admission of wanting to be physical with Hannah, lends weight to the detective's theory of ingrained jealousy toward Neil and a deep, unresolved desire to be with Hannah that eventually led him to pull the trigger that night, killing a beloved Army veteran of the community. Joshua Matthew was charged with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter. He is now awaiting his court hearing, and if convicted, he could face up to 18 years in prison.